when you go to the East Regional, I think here's where you're going to see a couple of early upsets from teams that have double-digit seeds next to their names. Wisconsin as a 5 seed going against Florida State. Florida State did have a great run in the ACC tournament, and then they lost to Duke in the championship game. But they're a team that it's all new to these guys. You know, Florida State hasn't been in the NCAA tournament since 1998. All of a sudden, they're here now. Tony Douglas has gone from being a player who was a real quality player on a team that was kind of sneaking up through the ACC to now where he's going to be a marquee marked player. And no coach does a better job of stopping a team that does that than Bo Ryan at Wisconsin. So I look for Wisconsin to upset them. Every year it seems you always have to have at least one 12 seed beat a 5 seed. And so I'm going to go with that's where that's going to happen. And another double-digit seed there to watch out for, Virginia Commonwealth going against UCLA. UCLA's been to 3 straight Final Fours, but they don't travel well in the NCAA tournament. When they make a run, it's usually they've been on the West Coast. They're able to get a chance to have their fans there. They don't have long trips. They're going from Los Angeles to Philadelphia, coming in and facing a Virginia Commonwealth team that has 2 outstanding players, and Eric Maynard, the guard, and Larry Sanders, who's a tremendous shot blocker, a little on the skinny side, so you don't look at him right away thinking NBA shot blocker quality, but this guy can go and get him, and I can see that being an ambush game and UCLA getting knocked out early. But again, I think the top 4 here are going to be the ones that wind up advancing. Pitt is just so big and so strong. Xavier likes to get going, but they're not going to be able to do anything on the backboards against Pitt, and they'll be able to do that. In the Villanova-Duke matchup, it's going to be one of those deals. The one thing Duke does well is shoot threes and turn you over to get points out of it. 2 of the best things that Villanova does is extend to stop people from shooting the 3, and they don't turn the ball over. So I think it's going to be a tough matchup for Duke. It should be a pretty entertaining game. There aren't going to be any big guys inside. It's going to be a perimeter game going up and down the court. But I could see Villanova knocking them off, and that would make it an all Big East regional final there with Pitt and Villanova. And I just look at Pitt. They split during the regular season, but the game when Villanova beat Pitt, it was because DeJuan Blair had some big foul trouble, and they were able to take advantage of that. I think Pitt will be a little smarter, a little more cautious in the postseason as they're looking to make their first run of the Final Four, and I think they'll get there this year with that. And the last region, it's North Carolina's region down south. They're going to start again in the state of North Carolina. They're 25-1 in NCAA tournament games in the state of Carolina, so it's pretty much and any thought of somebody knocking them off in the first 2 rounds. But again, there's a 12-5 matchup here that I think is going to be interesting. We have Western Kentucky going against Illinois. And Illinois probably deserves the 5 seed when you put it on their body of work, but they're not going to have Chester Frazier, who's their star defensive guard and is the glue to the team that really gets it going. He's out for the rest of the tournament. He had to have surgery on his hand. Western Kentucky's a team that went to the Sweet 16 last year. They've had some success, even though first-year coach Ken McDonald, but he was at Texas, so he had success there with Texas. He knows what it's all about. I look for them to knock them out early. But again, I see the top 4 seeds getting to the regional semifinals there, and we should have a regional final matchup that should be really entertaining with Tyler Hansbrough of North Carolina going against Blake Griffin of Oklahoma. 2 big, tough guys who both know how to score, who are both excellent rebounders, who are guys who they know all the tricks to be successful up front. But I don't know how that's going to work when you're playing against a guy who's just as good as you are. So maybe that'll be a game where we're so focused on the stars that it'll be the supporting cast that are going to have to decide that one. And they both have pretty good ones. But I think Carolina's going to get through there as well.